Now, in an area that is, let me give you the types. There are two major types of biomes we call the forests. Where gets low rainfall. So savannah can also be like, so where you have enough trees, then that is the forests. Now, the forests are of two types. We have what we call the tropical rainforests, especially in the local biomes. Ah. Léṣùkò kan tán fún lásán. Where is senior media? Torí pé senior media wálé ní báyìí wá sweat. Don't worry about it. It's live. It's for the sake of those at home. Those that cannot afford it to be in class, but they can afford to be online. But one thing I've noticed is that, share you don't, okay, I should share the link. Online cannot necessarily be like live class. I've checked it several times. It does not always work. So please, I'll just quickly give you one or two things about biomes. Wait, how many of you have subscribed to Primax YouTube channel? All of you that have subscribed, stand up, come and take 500 naira. So they are taking the lights eventually. So please, if you are watching live, all of you, when you get home, Baba, sorry. Okay.
Ẹgbẹ́ kan ní tó lọ ẹ̀yìn àní ìdí pipe ẹ̀yọ kan 10 pipe náà tágẹ̀ ó jẹ́ kọ́tà pipe kọ́tà ẹ̀yọ kan 2 by 3 la bá lò ká tàn 1 pipe lẹ́fà àápa o àdírẹ́sì ẹ̀ka ní lẹ́fà 9 táírọ̀dù afẹ́ gbé táírọ̀dù lé bí orí.
Kó lè kẹ́ fi máa mú mọ́lẹ̀.
Oníjẹ́ kó máa mú ẹ̀jẹ̀ 2005 táírọ̀dù márùn-ún. Ọ̀tá bá wá lò fún nílá lò fún tó ní ó ti bí wọ́n rí lọ.
So márùn-ún yẹn á jẹ́ 12.5. Àbá òde.
Tí mo ṣe ní ìsinmi pé mo ní
márùn-ún jẹ́ 12.5.
táírọ̀dù nìyẹn. Mo ní ẹgbẹ́ kan ní
ó ṣe 22,000. Bóyá tí máa ti parí kíláàsì lè fara balẹ̀ lọ. Ẹ má pẹ́. Ṣẹ́yìn náà ní kọ́pì dání bá.
Mo ti mọ̀ sórí bẹ́ẹ̀.
Ẹ ti mọ̀ sórí ẹ ṣọ́.
Ẹ pè yín ni àbí ṣé wàá kọ́pì kan náà.
Sódà ẹ lè bá mi fún ẹ bá ṣe tán. Ẹ bá mi fún kọ́pì tẹ̀. So màá pè yín tí máa ti ṣe tán. One blast online. So the online viewers, it's not our fault. Today, our media team won nígbà salary one. So, we have rainforests, tropical rainforests, and we have what we call the mangrove swamp. You have the mangrove swamp forests and you have the tropical rainforests. Then for the savannah, what did I say is common around here? The rainfall is very, very high. And if the rainfall is high, that's why somewhere like Lagos now is surrounded by water. A lot of places that come from the south, from our side here, and all of those things, we always experience rainfall, except that our scene is getting too much. Throughout last year, I'm not sure we really experienced rainfall. Harmattan, we did not see. Harmattan will come once like this, you people will send it back again. So that means that our climate is really changing. A lot of things are changing, and we pray that ayoko ni pare lọ́jọ́ kan with all this climate effect. It will just be like it is rapture that we end the world. And when rapture happen, me, I'll go like Superman. Ìwọ tó bá fà mí lẹ́sẹ̀ máa gbá ìdààmú. So this area experience a lot of rainfall, and the plants there grow so well. The plants there grow so. But this mangrove swamp, from the word swamp, you would have known it's a marshy area. Like, you know when they say aerophore, like it's water lodged. So this area is, I will give you short notes on everything. So this area is water lodged. Omi ló kún bẹ́ẹ̀, and it becomes so marshy that plants that we grow there cannot really grow on dry land like that. There are some areas that are dry too, but the area is usually full of water, and even you can't walk on it. And if you go and check the plants that grow there, their roots used to grow upward. Normally, roots is supposed to grow downward, Abi, but some of their roots come upward. Then along their branches, they will have roots again that will go down. So, around this area now, most of the plants there, they usually have broad leaves. Broad leaves. You should expect them to have broad leaves, Abi, because there's enough water around the mangrove swamp. Then we are still going to talk about the location. I can't really keep all the locations in my head, so that's why I brought the notes. I'll give you. Then you expect them to have broad leaves. Then another thing you expect those plants to do is that, for example, we have white mangrove. If my mangrove is just a single, you can correct it. You have what we call white mangrove. White mangrove in that place, they grow on top of the water. So they will raise their roots up in order to breathe. They need oxygen. So this white mangrove has what we call breathing roots. Breathing roots. So these breathing roots, we have some holes on it. Those holes are called lenticels. So from the word breathing roots, it helps them to get oxygen. Do you get that? You know, it's marshy, so they don't really have what to take oxygen like that. So they, in order to support their mechanism, they will raise their roots up. And when they raise their roots up, so those roots that they raise up, those roots are called breathing roots. And there are holes on all of those roots. Those holes are called lenticels. So, you know, you talk about plants breed with lenticels and stomata. Abi, stomata grows on leaf. Lenticels grows on stem, on the roots and all. So now, these plants, please don't forget, your breathing root is also known as pneumatophore. These are the most important thing you need to know about them. Now, they can ask you. Another one is the red mangrove. Red mangrove. So another plant that grows there is the red mangrove. These ones, they have prop roots. Prop root is a type of root that grows from branches. You know, a plant is growing, then it has branches. Then some things will now grow from the branches and go into the soil. So you know the plants won't be able to stand so well. So you don't expect to have all these Iroko tree, all these big tree, all these yard tree. You don't expect to have them because the will be too engineering. So Tóyìn má bínú mi sọ̀rọ̀ sí yín o kó má di pé mi nílé sùn. Ẹ̀yin ìyá ẹjọ́ mo láìpẹ́ oorun ẹ má pè mí wá mítìn o ẹjọ́ mo kàn ṣeré mo ń sọ̀rọ̀ yín pé èèyàn gidi níyàn àwọn igi tẹ like àwọn bí ìrókò àwọn bí òbéchè àwọn bí Tóyìn. So we have prop roots. So prop roots go from branches and go into the soil. So the purpose of those roots is to make the plant stand. So we call them like, there are two types of buttress roots. We have what we call buttress roots. Buttress roots help plants to stand very well. An example are your stilt roots and prop roots. What's the difference between stilt and prop roots? Many of you have seen maize before growing. You know that maize used to grow some things from the stem. So the roots that grow from stem, we call them stilt roots. The roots that go from branches, we call them prop roots. I hope you're getting my point clear so that you know what to pick when you see your questions. So that's one of the most important things. Then what are the animals you expect to see around this area? Do you expect to be seeing lion? So you are most likely to see all these crab, all these snail, all these animals like snakes. Snakes are even everywhere. Snakes might even be in this class, who knows? God forbid. So if people don't like snake, that's the fact. If I move to a house and I see snake, that's the day I'm packing out of the house. So Maro Proti fọkàn kan tá wá bẹ pé jò wàhálà a máa gbẹ́rù wa lọ́jọ́ ẹ̀. So now for this rainforest, please, I'm still going to show you the sequence. Hello, let's keep quiet, please. I know you don't like snakes. Keep quiet. For rainforest, there's a lot of water here. You have more water, less water, sorry. Compared high rainfall, there's a very high rainfall, then moderate temperature around this area. The location and everything, I'm going to talk about the locations, the characteristics, the type of plants that is found there, and the types of animal that is found there. So when you hear flora, you're talking about plants. When you hear fauna, you're talking about animals. Just think about flora from flower. That will always remind you of what we're talking about. So there's high rainfall around this area. And most of the plants around here, the plants are usually plant leaves are deciduous. You can spell it well. Plant leaves are what? Are deciduous. That means that most of the plants you have around here, they share their leaves. Is that taken? So And when they shed the leaves, most of the plant leaves, the leaves are evergreen. So you have a very broad leaf that is always very green. Broad leaf, evergreen, broad, decidual leaves. So they grow very well. Now, one of the things you need to know about this area where they always ask you question again is the type of plants we have there. So we have the different types of plants in these forests. We have one called the emergent plant. It's like different layers of plants. You have small plants. You have smaller plants. Like you have grasses. You have shrubs. You have trees. But the trees are of different layers. You have the emergents. You have the emergents. You have the ones that form canopy. And you have the ones that form the middle layer. So you have, so for the different types of plants you have, depending on the heights and everything, we have some that forms like very big leaf, like canopy. So the plant will grow. So if you are looking at the forest, you see a very deep forest. Then you now see one plant, or just like one plant will come up, emerge. That one will grow very tall. So that one is what we call the emergent plants. Then you have the canopies. Then after those ones, if you go under those forests, you see that under is always very clean. It's not always very deep. But when you are looking at it from afar, you see it's very deep. You see a lot of things very deep because of the canopies of leaves that you are seeing. But if you actually go under, it will be very clean. Because number one is all those canopies, they are blocking sunlight from getting to the ground floor. And if the ground floor did not see sunlight, the plant will not thrive very well. I hope you're getting my point. You know, it's like plants depends majorly on sunlight. But when some plants already grew like this, then the ones that will survive will now emerge and grow. So these ones are called the emergent. So most of the plants you now see under here, they are shaded, so they don't get sunlight. Do you get that? And at the end, they don't grow very well. Those are the ones you call shrubs. So they manage to grow. Then on the ground, you see grasses everywhere. Those are the layers. So you have the grasses, you have the smaller plants. The smaller plants are called shrubs. Then you have trees. Some plants will be tall. Those ones are called like your middle layer. Is that taken? Then you now have the ones that form the canopy that covers everything. Those ones are called your canopy. Then the ones that emerge within the canopy, they are called what? Emergent. So you know that there will be a lot of space between the emergents because one will just emerge, another one emerges, and so on. Now, there are some crawling plants that need sunlight. They will now tap around the emergents so that they can go and get sunlight. So when you talked about nutrition, you heard about epiphytes, Abby?
Yes.
So epiphytes are plants that will grow on a tree, Abby, without causing harm to the tree. So because those ones need sunlight, so they will grow around the emergent and go and stay at the top. Then they get their sunlight. But they lack something that makes them to be commensals. What do they lack? They lack ostoria, Abby. But there are some of them that are parasitic, which are your cuscutabi, so and so on. So all those will be dealt with in nutrition. So these are the types of trees you have here: the grasses, the shrubs, and the trees. So we'll talk about the animals and the location overall. Now, around this area, the savannah is divided into three. We have the southern Guinea savanna. That's the first one. We have the southern Guinea savanna. Southern Guinea savanna, followed by northern Guinea Savannah, then followed by Sahel Savannah. This northern Guinea Savannah is also known as Sudan Savannah. Sudan Savannah. So, taking it from the stats, I'll use map of Nigeria now to explain it because they can ask you how they are arranged. I told you that biomes are of two major types. The parts that do not really get much water, which is the what? The savanna. And the parts that get a whole lot of water, which is the forest. Abi? Now, forests are divided into two major parts. The tropical rainforest that gets water, but not as much as mangrove swamp. Because this one gets too much water, so it becomes waterlogged. I hope you're getting it. So there are two types of forest, which is mangrove swamp forest and the tropical rainforest. Now, there is soil. In this tropical rainforest, there is soil to support plant growth, but the plant still gets enough water. So the area is not that marshy, it's not that swampy compared to this area. So plants around here, they grow very tall. Is that taken? And that's why we have different types of plants that grow there. So you can have grasses, which are the ones that are the under layers. Then you have the shrubs, which are shorter plants. Then you have the middle layer of trees. You have the canopies of trees. And you have the emergent trees. Do you get my point? Then these are just some characteristics of those plants that you see around here. Then for the mangrove swamp, it is usually waterlogged. So you don't see tall plants like that. They don't go tall compared to the forest because there's too much water. Then for the savanna, savanna is usually dry. It's usually dry. But this one is still close to most of these forests. So you still see. So around this area now, savanna, you usually have scattered trees for savanna. You have grasses. So for savanna, you have scattered trees because there is not enough water. So you can see one tree there, one tree very far, all scattered. But you will have grasses everywhere. And that's why they rear cow around those areas because they have what those cows can feed on. I hope you are listening to me. So they have what those cows can feed on. And most times around the savannah, there is this outbreak of fire due to the dry season, everything being very, very hot. So most plants that used to grow there, the trees that grow there, they will have what we call thick bark. So one of the things you need to know about grassland is presence of thick bark around the tree. So the trees will have thick bark. They can ask you that the plants around the savanna are able to withstand outbreak of fire due to what? Oh yeah, you stand up that you are fanning behind the alaja. Damilo ìwọ mo bá sọ̀rọ̀. Yes. So how are plants in savanna? How do they survive fire outbreak? Thick bark. I was talking, you are frowning like princess in Frozen, like princess in Frozen. And you are not looking at me, you are not looking at the board. You can see it. I did not know who whispered the answer to you, but I want to believe you got what I was saying, so no problem. You can continue fanning and look away. Maybe that's how you used to understand. Don't look at me, look away. So I used to have someone in my class that used to sleep a lot. But anytime she's sleeping and she likes sitting at the front, she would have slept off. But by the time we wake her up, that what was the last thing that she will explain everything. So our whole superpower is in sleeping. So if you know you can sleep and still explain to me, you are free. There's water bed in Primax. So please, sometimes, normally I'm supposed to be giving you some notes, but I will find the notes boring myself, and I might not even be able to read it. But some things I'm saying now are probably what you will see in exam. They are what I'm saying. So, and the notes, I have notes that I can give you. That it's even in my own notes. But I'm just giving you one or two clues first that you need majorly altogether. So thick bark allows them to withstand fire outbreak. So don't cram. Try to do more of your research and reading and all. So now, let me wrap this thing up. Most plants that grow around the savannah too, they have to be able to withstand dry season. During dry season, most of them used to grow deep roots, so like their roots used to be strong because they must find a way to go and look for water. They have to look for water compared to every other plant. But they will ask you for examples. So I will use the examples to wrap it up. But before then, all the stories I've been saying, let me put it on the map of Nigeria so that you see how it looks. So another one is they usually ask the location of this guy. You will see it in your mock exam during JAMB. So they usually ask that where is this one found? What are the states these ones found around this area? Like Kaduna, Katsina, something like that. I'll give it to you. Then there is desert too, but there is no desert in Nigeria, Abi. So there is desert around the northern part. So Sahara Desert. So we are going to talk about basic things about desert. During my JAMB, they asked me the plants found in desert. Two plants like that, baobab and cacti. They asked me, but motimo weju motushi. Mashia, ayelenu. Let's just say this is the map of Nigeria. Be saying hey. I'm not from Nigeria, so if people should still appreciate that I'm drawing your country. All of you that are shouting, where are you in this place? There, where? So please just follow this. You know, this is like the north, Abi. This is like the east. This is like the west, and this is like the south, Abi. So they can ask you, the first one that starts from the south is the mangrove swamp. And that's why most times all the places you have around here, you will see them as examples. So if you know geography very well, you can think about them. You are from south, southeast, southwest. But I'll give you the examples of the places soon. Then, when you go from mangrove swamp, you move to the next one, which is the tropical rainforest. 11. Then the biggest one, is the Guinea Savannah. Then you now have it divided into then you have the Sudan Savannah, you have the Sahel, Abi, then you have the Sahel Savannah. So you have this Southern Guinea Savannah and Northern Guinea Savannah. So Sudan Savannah, Sahel Savannah, then close to around this region, you have the desert. So the desert shares border with some part of Nigeria. So I think I was planning to run away to Cameroon during my NYSC. When I went to Adamawa, so I wanted to enter Cameroon. because I felt I was black enough to be identified as a Cameroonian. But I was scared of Boko Haram around Borno. So please, to wrap it up, let's now look for examples. So around here now, you can just write examples of for the mangrove. So you will list it so that your book will be easy to read. Animals. Or let me do it on two sides. So you just put it here, animals. Then on the other side, plants. So we'll put examples of plants around the Sahel, examples of animals around the Sahel, examples of plants around the Sudan, and examples of plants around the Sudan. Sure you get. Then you do it like that beside your map so that it will be easier. Oh yeah, sure. She'll help me with my storybook. So let's see notes. So, examples of plants around the mangrove. I think I've told you, but they can ask you all of these examples. Then their location. Is this one. First, let's list the examples of plants and animals. Please, let's be fast about it. So around the mangrove, the plants you have, I've already told you. White mangrove, red mangrove, raffia, and coconut plant. Coconut tree around the mangrove swamp. You have red mangrove, white mangrove, raffia, R-A-F-F-I-A. Raffia plants, no mafia, raffia. Raffia plants and coconuts. Your coconut likes area with water, Abi, because coconut is dispersed by water. So the animals you see there, they are worms around the mangrove. So you see worms, snakes, crustaceans, birds, kingfishers, tilapia fish. Those are the common examples. Imagine they say that you should, because they can ask you, they can say, design a food chain. Which type of food chain can represent mangrove swamp? You are not picking the one that contains lion. Because the food chain is correct, but it contains lion. So you should understand. There's a food chain that you will most likely have around the swamp, which will be different from the one you will have around the forests. So, are you there? For the tropical rainforests, sorry, thank you. Give it to Sharon. So we have plants around the tropical rainforests. Okay, location of mangrove swamp. That's Cross Rivers, Delta region of Lagos, Delta states. You also have it in Delta states and in Edo states. Edo Wadori. How many of you are from Edo? You know them. Mary, you are from Edo. Moyi, how are you feeling? How is your body? Can we move on, please? yeah, can we move to tropical rainforests? So examples of plants in tropical rainforests, they are obeche, obeche, obeche. Obeche is Triplocanthine scleroxinum. If you want to write OAU, you will understand that. Elizabeth, I'm the one that have both biology and chemistry. I know how to adjust my time. So don't tell me, I know. Bye-bye. Obeche, tricho. If you are writing OAU, JAMB might not ask you, but they might ask you. So that's the scientific name for obeche. If you are writing OAU, although last year OAU changed all their systems of questions. Their questions were direct last year. Yes, compared to what they used to ask. They didn't ask all those things last year. They asked normal English, they asked physics, chemistry, and biology, normal level. Except the chemistry was not even as it was previous years, that they will be asking you some complicated chemistry. No, it was normal. The only thing that was just wrong with OAU exam last year was the mode of the exam, but the questions were still normal. So but normally if you are writing OAU like 2 years ago, you would have been knowing all of these things. But it does not mean you shouldn't know it this year because you don't know the system they will still bring. Orí ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ máa hó tó bá fẹ́ kọ OAU. Another example, Iroko. Do you know how to spell obeche? Okay, I'll spell it. Iroko. This one is Chlorophylla escassa. Chlorophylla escassa. You can see that I'm underlining them when you are writing scientific name, and you will see that I'm starting with small letter here. You must have been told that when you were doing classification. So you start with capital letter for the genus name and small letter for the species name, and you underline. Next example, Afara. A-F-A-R-A. Afara. Wúrà kí ló ń jẹ́? Daniela. So Afara is Terminalia superba. Ó mọ̀ ó ti ń gbàgbé. Terminalia superba. That's Afara. Then mahogany timber. Àwọn igi tó agbáwo orúkọ ẹ̀ gan. So for mahogany, its name is Kaya ivorensis. So for JAMB, you don't need to really disturb yourself about those botanical names, but try to fojú kan mọ̀. Sometimes it's better to just have a glance. You never can tell, but you are most likely not going to see the botanical name, but you can see the examples. So let's look at examples of animals we have in the tropical rainforests. Oh yeah, can I quickly, please, so that we can start our chemistry. Tomorrow is what? Thursday, right? Tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow is Friday. You still have a lot to do on your college. Animals in the area. Monkey, chameleon, you should know them. Squirrel. Monkey, chameleon, squirrel. Snakes. Antelope. Elephants. Lizard. tortoise, arthropods, lions, gorillas, chimpanzees, rhinoceros. I know you can't spell that one, so skip it. Hedgehogs. It's better you people even know these things. Have you watched Over the Hill before? If you have watched Over the Hill, you will know hedgehog. You have watched Peter Rabbit. You have watched Zootopia. You have watched Naruto. But you have watched Voice Over Flower. I shake my head for you. Rabbits, hawks, 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 bats, owls, hyenas, crocodiles, alligators. Have you seen hyena before? Yes. Oh yeah, quickly, location. Emma, one look at Need Forest o. Edo. I asked about where are the Edo people? Edo, I want to ask, do you people have witches and wizards? There are plenty. You are the one that said it too. It's because you have enough forest around you. Oh yeah, Delta, Edo Delta, ẹ̀yin ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́. Do you people have witches and wizards? Ara wọn ni. Oh yeah, let's move on. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Ondo, Imo, Cross River, Ogun, Lagos. It's just that Lagos witches are they are witches with teeth. Abia, Rivers, Anambra, Akwa Ibom. And you did not pass state and capital in primary school. Can we move on? So all of you, you know where you are likely to have all your village people. So please, there's the montane forest, but let me quickly give you this one. I don't even know. Maybe I will snap these notes. I will snap these notes and send to you. I don't like dictating notes. You are not with your phones. I will give you the note to copy. So let's talk about chemistry. So please, by tomorrow, I will continue with ecology. But by that tomorrow, I'm coming here to also ask you questions on everything we have done. Super. That's your test tomorrow. So we have class tomorrow. You will resume your test later.